Welcome to Lotus Yoga and Counseling. This is Kailani. I am a licensed mental health counselor and registered yoga teacher in Washington State. Today we have a spiritual cleanse that I wrote to address finding comfort in being alone. So, for this practice, it's a little bit different than a typical guided meditation. You will still be in a comfortable position with any props that you might like, and you'll just be listening, absorbing whatever resonates with you, reflecting as you will after the practice is over. This practice is really just about considering what it means to be alone and cultivating the skill of finding comfort within yourself. So take a few moments. You might pause the video here to grab whatever you might need. This takes about 15 minutes or so make sure you have time. And we'll get started. We'll begin by grounding ourselves into the practice. So if you're sitting up, make sure that your feet are flat on the floor. Uncross the ankles. And if you're sitting in a chair, make sure that you're sitting upright in a dignified but not rigid posture. If you're lying down, make sure that the knees are slightly bent and supported. That helps to protect the low back. You might put a eye pillow on the eyes. No matter what position you're in, feel your connection to the earth. Visualize that whatever part of your body is touching the earth is able to connect deep into the earth with some form of nature. So you might imagine that there are deep roots coming from your feet that wind down through the earth, through the rock. Really let it get into the earth itself. As you ground down into the earth, allow any tension to flow out of the body with each breath. Release audible sighs. Imagine that whatever is worrying you or causing you pain or discomfort is literally leaving the body through that grounding cord that you have placed into the earth. Maintain your awareness of your connection to the earth, and as you do, consider the following. Humans are social beings. We need one another to survive. We are born of a mother and a father who are humans, and we are born to a spiritual mother and father. Some believe in the Mother Earth and Father Sun. Others choose their parents or are adopted or fostered. We may have siblings, cousins, grandparents, aunts and uncles, nannies, friends, parents of friends, and the like. When we get a bit older, we have teachers and role models. Later, we have coworkers, colleagues, and supervisors. We are constantly surrounded by people, physically, psychologically, spiritually, and emotionally. From time to time, we find ourselves alone, or at least not in close physical proximity to another person. Or perhaps we are just not connecting. This can instill fear, or maybe even feelings of abandonment. For those of us who fear this space, you may be afraid of what will seep into the present moment when there is no one around to distract us. For others, we may view being alone as evidence that we are not lovable or worthy of attention. Whatever meaning you make of being alone, set it aside. We often forget that we are our own constant companion. Our heart is always beating in our chest. Our lungs are filling with oxygen under our ribs. Our brain calculating and sending messages all through the body. Our hands help us to work, our feet to travel, our eyes to see, our nose to smell, and so on. We do not always have good days within our body, but the body has always been there for us. Let us take a few moments to thank it for accompanying us. The mind has also been our constant companion. It helps us to make sense of the world around us and the experiences we have. There are times when the mind makes mistakes. This is an example of how we are human. There are times when the mind tells us we are in trouble when we are not. Another example of how we are human. Our mind has always tried its hardest to keep us alive so that we are here to see another day. Let us take a few moments to thank it for doing its best. When we are alone, it is the best time to take stock of what we need. Listen to yourself, the memories you have been replaying, the task list you have been adding to, the worries of the future, the embarrassment of the past, the aches and pains of the body. Most of all, your body needs some compassion. I invite you to vigorously rub your hands together to create some heat. When your hands are quite hot, place them gently on the spot that needs some love and attention. This might mean putting your hands over your eyes, on your forehead, over your heart, or giving yourself a hug or pat on the back. Do this several times. Above all, remember that to be alone is a constant truth. We are always alone in our experiences of our lives. No one has lived the exact same life as you, and no one can walk in your shoes. This is a powerful thing. Tell your story. Let your experiences be your truth. Advocate for what your needs are. And remember that when the world feels against you, you can find comfort in yourself. Begin to deepen the breath. Release an audible sigh. Bring some gentle movement back to the fingers and toes. Rotate the wrists and ankles. Reach up and overhead for a full body stretch. Before you open your eyes, thank yourself for taking this time to practice something skillful. I thank you for being here. Namaste.